So, the other day I was watching YouTube and came across these two videos by Keithaldo and Hunter R, where they try and softlock every Zelda game and every Animal Crossing game as fast as they can. Now, immediately after watching them, I was like, wow, that's a great idea for a video. I should try that with Pikmin. And, yeah, I did. We're trying it with Pikmin. We're doing it right now. Unfortunately though, softlocking Pikmin is easier said than done, and this is mainly because of the day system. Unlike in Animal Crossing and Zelda, Pikmin's gameplay is ruled over by a timer that basically resets the day when it hits 0. So no matter how stuck we get, as soon as this timer hits 0 and the day is over, we will be unstuck and able to continue playing the game. So yeah, softlocking this game is not going to be easy, but it is possible. If you've watched this channel at all, then you'll know these games are incredibly broken. In fact, they are so broken that not only can we softlock all these games, but we can softlock one of them in 56 seconds. Yes, 56 seconds. So let's go through every Pikmin game and try to softlock them as fast as we can. Then I'll show you just how this insane number of 56 seconds is achieved. I'm Dan from Press A, and this is Which Pikmin Game Can You Softlock the Fastest? Guess what? It's everyone's favorite time of the video. The time where Button Man sells his soul so he can feed his family. Guys, this video is sponsored by Flexispot. This is the Flexispot C7 Max. This is my old chair, and it's disgusting. It's literally falling apart at the seams and has marks that can only be described as gamer wear and tear. The C7 Mats, on the other hand, is pristine. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It also has a sick headrest, while the old chair has nothing. The C7 Mats also has the 5D armrest. Yeah, that's right, 5D. This shit's taking you to new dimensions. They are adjustable up, down, left, right, and hell, they can even go 360. So it doesn't matter if your arms are really close, really far, or just jutting out from the sides. The C7 Mats has you covered. Additionally, it features an amazing self-adjusting lumbar support. Meanwhile, my old chair says, "F your lumbar, you're gonna be crippled when you're 80. It also features a memory foam seat that you can adjust the depth on and a footrest for those times you're feeling just like the people from WALL-E. The C7 Mats also comes with a 30-day free return policy and a 10-year warranty. If you go to Flexispot.com and use my code BRANDDAY30, you can get $30 off your very own C7 Mats. The link is also in the description. Or if the C7 Mats is a little rich for your blood, you can go with the C5, which is a great chair and only costs $200. Thank you so much to Flexispot for sponsoring this video, and back to the video. So before we start, let's quickly go over what a softlock even is. Basically, a softlock occurs when you're still able to play the game, but aren't able to progress without resetting or reloading a prior save. In this example here, Mario is able to enter a cannon with no HP using a glitch. If he then flies out of the cannon and butt stomps his bots, the game will remain running, but Mario will be frozen in place, unable to do anything. This is a softlock. And now that we're all on the same page, let's start softlocking some Pikmin games. If you're a fan of this channel, you'll know that Pikmin 1 is a super busted game. Probably the most busted in the entire series. But weirdly enough, there's not a ton of softlocks for this game, especially ones that are fast. Now, this is mainly because it's so busted that even if you get stuck somewhere, you can usually get yourself out. And also because of the day system I mentioned earlier in the video. These two things make it pretty hard to softlock the game, but it is still possible. So the first one we're going to look at is the Sunset Cutscene Softlock. If you're playing on the Japanese 1.01 version of the game and go to Sunset, you can softlock the game by mashing the start button one frame after the skip to sunset option is chosen. The game will try and show the end of day cutscene, but if you do it correctly, the cutscene will refuse to progress. which means you and your Pikmin will be stuck sitting there until you reset the game. Now, this is a pretty quick way to softlock because the only prerequisite needed is to be on day 2 or later. But trust me, we can go faster. If we go back to day 1, throw some Pikmin on this ledge, then come over by this pellet here, you can actually get pushed out of bounds by this Pikmin carrying a pellet if you punch at the correct time, as BJesus shows here in this clip. Once you're on the ledge, you need to walk over, grab your Pikmin, then enter the second half of the level. At that point, you can use your Pikmin to kill the Pearly Clamp, which will in turn drop the Positron generator. Now, all you have to do is walk up to it, and this cutscene showing Olimar fighting the engine will play. Congratulations! You are now softlocked. Since the game expects the first ship part you'll find to be the engine, it'll play this cutscene whenever you come in contact with your first ship part, even if that ship part isn't the engine. So when we walk up to the Positron generator without finding the engine first, the game assumes we just found the engine and plays the cutscene, which will transport us over to where the engine is supposed to be. Now, this is a big problem for Olimar, because there's no way out of this little area. We haven't moved the bots yet with our Pikmin, so we can't go back to base. And we also can't go up this ramp because again, we haven't moved the bots. There's also no way to call our Pikmin because we're too far away from the onion. And we can't clip out of bounds yet because Olimar doesn't have the ability to lie down on day 1. Another fun fact about day 1 is that it's the only day that doesn't have a time limit. So it will never end. And we also can't end it ourselves because you can't go to sunset on day 1. We are completely softlocked. But even though we can perform this on day 1, it's still pretty slow. And this trick specifically is incredibly hard. Luckily for us though, there's a much easier and faster way we can softlock Pikmin 1. This is called the Cardboard Bots Cutscene Softlock, and it's way easier and quicker than the Positron Generator one. All you have to do to achieve this softlock is grow 10 Pikmin, throw 9 of them at the bots, then throw the last one, and as soon as it hits the ground, whistle another Pikmin. If done correctly, the cutscene showing the Pikmin pushing the bots will play, but the Pikmin you just whistled will come running off the bots, which will cause the bots to be stopped in its tracks and the cutscene to play infinitely. You cannot pause or cancel this cutscene in any way. Once this happens, the only way out is resetting the console. It is 100% a softlock. Now, I was able to pull this off in around 4 minutes and 10 seconds, which in my opinion is pretty good, especially since the opening cutscene is around 1 minute long by itself. And there's also just a bunch of other cutscenes at the start of the game in general. But yeah, it seems like around 4 minutes is probably the fastest time we could softlock Pikmin 1 in. Let's take a look at some other Pikmin games to see if we could go a little bit faster though. Out of all the Pikmin games, Pikmin 4 is probably the most polished and hardest to crash. It's also the newest game in the series, so I wasn't really surprised when I could only find 2 known softlocks for the game. The first one is super late in the game, and by super late in the game, I mean like the last boss. As you can see here in this clip by IDK, if you get the Sirehound to charge on the opposite side of the ship, you can get him stuck up there if he decides to jump right on top of it. This freezes the Sirehound in place and makes him completely impervious to damage. The only way to get him down from here is either rewind time or reset the game, making it a pretty cool softlock, but one that would take multiple hours to complete. The second one is quite a bit quicker to pull off, but it's also still not that quick. So, to perform this softlock, you need to first rescue Dalmo from the second floor of the Aquifer Summit, which is thankfully in the game's first level and not in the last level like the Sirehound softlock was. Next, you need to find 75 creatures and then talk to Dalmo back at the base. Normally when you do this, he would just give you 20 Sparklium, clear the mission, and give you a new mission to find 100 creatures instead of 75. But for some reason, if you talk to him again, sometimes he'll just randomly give you the 20 Sparklium again and clear the mission a second time. When he does this, the game doesn't know what to do and just softlocks. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to get out of this. You are stuck perpetually talking to Dalmo for the rest of eternity. But once again, just like with the Sirehound softlock, this softlock takes multiple hours to achieve, which is a far cry from the 4 minutes and 10 seconds it took to softlock Pikmin 1. So, if we want a faster time, we're gonna have to look elsewhere, and that elsewhere is Pikmin 3. So, most people don't know this because it's really unlikely to happen in a regular playthrough, but if you rescue Louie and have no juice for him to steal, the cutscene showing him breaking down the stone wall in the Garden of Hope just won't play. Now, if this cutscene doesn't play, the player can't make it to the second half of the Garden of Hope. And if the player can't make it to the second half of the Garden of Hope, it means they can't finish the game. Now, you can obviously just fix this by getting more fruit. But what would happen if we had already collected every fruit? Well, a softlock happens. As shown in this video by Cyrus Wilson, if you collect every fruit in the game, then rescue Louie, the game will be softlocked. You'll have 0 juice remaining and be unable to get past this wall to progress the story. So when the day ends, you'll just game over. Fortunately though, you won't be locked out of actually completing the save file, as there is an option to go to an earlier day. But for our purposes, this is essentially reloading a previous save file, so it counts as a softlock. Now, just like the Pikmin 4 ones, the Louie softlock would take multiple hours to achieve, so it's not really going to help us out here. But this next one might. This one is called the Double Charlie softlock. As our resident Double Charlie expert Ty shows here, you can perform the Double Charlie glitch during the Charlie tutorial by first throwing your yellow Pikmin against these crystals here, then climbing this route and doing some out of bounds shenanigans with Charlie, until you can drop down to this spot here. This cave entrance leads back to the main part of the distant tundra, which you are not normally supposed to be able to access in the tutorial. You're normally supposed to go through here and trigger the cutscene where Charlie gets eaten by the Flexispot. But yeah, if you go back to the main area, you can perform another glitch called Backdoor Flexispot, which just involves Charlie walking up this wall, doing some more out of bounds shenanigans, then walking out of bounds in this river until he hits a bottomless void, which will spawn him right behind this bag. He now has to use gyro controls to whistle his Pikmin that he left in a specific spot. Then he enters the cave, which is essentially a backdoor to the Flexispot boss fight. Now, if you just defeat the Flexispot, you will have saved Charlie with Charlie, creating 2 of them. Since the game thinks Charlie has just been saved, it will now allow you to end the day as shown in this video by Name Coyote, which is not normally something the game allows you to do in the tutorial. But since Charlie has been saved now, you can do it and head to the next area. As soon as you land though, there is a major problem. There's no onion. Since we skipped the tutorial where Elf finds the red onion, we never officially unlocked it. Which means we can't use Pikmin, and we can't unlock them either, since the other onions are nowhere to be found. Meaning that we are completely softlocked. Again though, even though we are only on the second day, this method still takes a long time to pull off. It involves 2 tricks that are pretty hard, and take a while to actually do. Way longer than the 4 minutes we have to beat from Pikmin 1. However, when I came across this next contender, I thought it might have a good chance to actually beat it. But unfortunately, I was wrong. This next softlock I'm talking about is called collecting the data file softlock. And it happens when you collect a data file at the same time a cutscene begins, as shown here by Spadiver. He collects a data file at the same time the cutscene for showing a Pikmin drinking nectar for the first time plays. After the cutscene plays, the data file opens, but the image isn't there, which for some reason causes the game to softlock. Now, like I said, I thought this one looked really promising, so I was going to time it. But then I found another softlock, which looked to be objectively faster. This softlock by Twitter user Espio, called the Elf Tutorial Softlock. The reason this one will be faster than the data collecting softlock is because it takes place during the tutorial, where the data collecting softlock can only be done on day 2 at the earliest. But yeah, all you have to do to perform the softlock is start the tutorial section where Elf has to knock down the red onion with 3 red Pikmin. But instead of whistling the 3 reds right away, you actually point your cursor down right and whistle this hidden 4th Pikmin that's sitting in the pot. If done correctly, the 4th red will join your party and you'll be successfully softlocked. Even if you whistle the other Pikmin over, you'll be unable to throw them, so getting the onion down is impossible. You're also completely unable to move, and since it's the tutorial still, the day won't end either. You are just stuck here as Elf mutters these same lines about helping Pikmin and the onion being a fruit. Now, I was actually able to pull this one off in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, making it almost 2 minutes faster than the Softlock from Pikmin 1. But would you believe me if I told you we could do this even faster? Because, believe it or not, Pikmin 3 has one more softlock up its sleeve. A softlock that I don't believe is documented anywhere, but one I was graciously alerted to by a member of the Pikmin speedrunning Discord. A member named Chasmatron01. Now, as you can see here, Chasmatron takes his yellow Pikmin from the Charlie tutorial over to this corner and starts throwing them out of bounds. He does this by holding on to the Pikmin with the A button, then pressing B to let go of them. If done in the right spot, when he lets go of them, they will fall right into the ground, killing them instantly. Now, if you made sure to kill them all, Charlie can no longer progress through the tutorial because of these mushrooms blocking the way. He also can't reach the rest of his Pikmin to perform a Pikmin extinction, which might be able to get him out of the situation, but unfortunately for him, they're all on the other side of these mushrooms. So yeah, this is 100% a softlock, and a pretty quick one at that. When I did it myself, it came out to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 5 seconds quicker than the Elf tutorial softlock. I know what you're all thinking though. Press A, we already know the lowest time is 56 seconds. Stop stalling and get to the good stuff. Okay, yeah, that's fair. But to do that, we're gonna have to look at Pikmin 2. So, before we actually get to the good stuff, I wanted to quickly go over a glitch that would be a softlock in almost every other game, but actually isn't due to Pikmin 2's day system. To do this almost softlock, you need to use the knapsack on the edge of the scale in the perplexing pool with the president. Now, if done right, you will fall through the ground and respawn back on land, completely frozen. Now again, if this was any other game, this would be a softlock. I can't move, I can't whistle, I can't even swap to Olimar. But it doesn't matter, because when the day ends, everything works normally. So it's not really a softlock. I just wanted to point this one out though, just to really nail home how hard it is to softlock these games because of the day system. But with that out of the way, let's get to some real softlocks now. So this first one happens when you collect a treasure at the same exact moment a debt repayment message shows up on your screen. You'll know it worked right if you see the debt repayment message pop up during the treasure collection cutscene. Once this happens, you are officially softlocked. The treasure will pop up like normal, but the UI will strangely be missing, and so will your ability to proceed through the cutscene. All you can do is sit there and spin the treasure forever. Now, this softlock isn't really that fast, mainly because you need the debt repayment message to show up to actually perform it. So, you would need to collect at least 1,000 Pokos before you could even try the softlock, which obviously isn't going to happen in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, so let's look for some faster options. This one I don't think has a name, but I'm dubbing the No Red Sprouts softlock. And it occurs when you perform cutscene timer storage and don't whistle the Pikmin with Olimar before finding the red onion with Louie. Now, I know that sentence made no sense, so I'll try and explain it. And I've also done this trick a bunch on this channel, so I'll try and be brief. Basically, by whistling one Pikmin off the Bulborb and throwing it out of bounds, we can execute a Pikmin extinction. This ends the day immediately and brings us to day 2. Now that we're on day 2, we can kill the Bulborb right away. Killing the Bulborb starts a timer that plays this cutscene saying the ship has established a link with Louie when it hits 0. The nice thing about this timer is that it applies to every save file, not just the one we're playing on. So if we kill the Bulborb and end the day right away, which is something we can now do because we're on day 2, then we can start a new file while the timer is still ticking. And when we land, we can just sit there and wait for it to go off. This cutscene playing is what allows us to swap to Louie. So now that it's gone off, we can swap to him without having to kill the Bulborb, or more importantly, having to interact with our Pikmin. But yeah, now that we're Louis, we can walk towards the onion, and this cutscene will play, which officially softlocks us. Normally, it's supposed to show a red Pikmin being sprouted from the onion, but since we haven't discovered red Pikmin with Olimar yet, in this save file, the game freaks out and just doesn't grow any Pikmin. Which means we can't grow any ourselves to break down the bag, which also means we're softlocked. Funnily enough, the game does crash after a while after you've done this, so it's not a true softlock, I guess. Also, don't mind the totally legitimate GameCube Windows pop-up, by the way. But even if it was a true softlock, it's still pretty slow, clocking in at 5 minutes and 31 seconds. Obviously, we can do better, so let's move on to the next one. Now, if you saw that last softlock and thought to yourself, wait, why doesn't he just kill all of his Pikmin on day 1? Wouldn't that softlock the game? Well, dear viewer, you are 100% right. If we kill 2 Pikmin using the same method we did for the cutscene timer storage glitch, we can softlock ourselves in 1 minute and 53 seconds. Since you need 15 Pikmin to break down the bag, and you can only have 16 of them on day 1, if we kill 2 of them, we won't have enough to break down the bag. And you need to break down the bag to progress on day 1. Viewers who have seen my videos are probably screaming, well, what if you Bulborb jump and head to the Emergence Cave? Well, guess what? You can't Bulborb jump if the Bulborb is dead. Also, you can't kill Louis' Pikmin to perform a Pikmin extinction. For whatever reason, Olimar just can't whistle them until the bag is broken. If he could, we could whistle them all and kill them like we did earlier, which would cause a Pikmin extinction and end the day. But since we can't, we're softlocked. Softlocked in 1 minute and 53 seconds. Our fastest time so far. But as you're aware, we can go even faster. The question is, how though? How could we possibly top 1 minute and 53 seconds? Hell, you don't even gain control of Olimar in the story mode until around the 1 minute and 15 second mark. That gives us like 40 seconds to work with. There's almost no chance we could softlock the story mode faster, right? Well, the story mode, no. But the game, yes. This is the Pikmin 2 versus Softlock. And it's probably the easiest softlock in the entire Pikmin series. Literally, all you have to do to perform the softlock is boot up Pikmin 2's versus mode, pick a map, then get your opponent's marble, bring it back to base, and the moment it hits your onion, you have to press pause, then quit out of the match. If you timed it correctly, the match won't end. Instead, the selection bots will disappear and the screen will stay dim, meaning you have successfully softlocked the game. As you can imagine, you can do this really fast. I was able to do it in 1 minute and 23 seconds, 30 seconds faster than the Pikmin extinction softlock. But it's possible to do it even faster. The world record for the softlock is around 56 seconds. Yeah, 56 seconds. That number right there is the fastest you can softlock a Pikmin game. Now, overall, obviously Pikmin 2 had the fastest time at 56 seconds. Coming in second place though was Pikmin 3 with a best time of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, coming from the Yellow Extinction softlock. And third is Pikmin 1 with a time of 4 minutes and 10 seconds from the Cardboard Bots softlock. And finally, in last place was Pikmin 4 with a DNF, or did not finish. Because I wasn't about to beat the entirety of Pikmin 4 just to get a single time for this stupid video. But yeah, that's it for me guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next video. This video was made possible through the support of our amazing patrons. I want to give a special shout out to Rebecca Lyons, Lay Burb, Puddles Megan, Liam Helt, Nice Gamer Musics, Serena Bliss, TXCS_14. Blue Pikmin is the best Pikmin, and if you say otherwise, then Louie will eat your soul. Also, this is a completely real name. Young Smokey VP $17, Clone Trooper Wheeler, and Koi Koi 13.